Welcome to the Pickleball Innovators Podcast, which aims to shine a spotlight on the movers and shakers in the fast-growing pickleball club space. Today's guest is Brian Noble, the Vice President of Pickleball Experience at Ace Pickleball Club, who shares about the 2026 APC National Championship delivered with DoorDash, its impact on the member experience and brand as a whole. Let's get into it.
Just very interested to hear about how the national championship idea came about. What are the benefits of doing a national championship? How does it help with member engagement and player engagement and just keys to success and what you guys have learned throughout this process?
The origin story really is, and I'll give you a little bit of background, I'll dip into my background a little bit because it comes into play in this. But my background was 30 years in organizational development, and I spent a lot of my later part of my career in employee experience. Worked a lot with healthcare companies, but worked for Deloitte and Accenture and other consulting firms doing that kind of work. So my whole kind of mindset, and that's one of the reasons that Jay and Joe and I get along so well, is that they want to build everything around the member experience. And we want that member experience to be as good as it can be for every different member. And we know that we have members with different interests and needs, even as it relates to pickleball. So we have many members that love to come into the club, enjoy our open play environment, and they do that many times a week, sometimes at length. And they may never want to be involved in a competitive pickleball setting. But we also have members who do want that. And so we wanted to find a way that we could provide a competitive outlet of sorts for that group of members. That's where the idea was just born. I said, let's build a competitive outlet for the competitive people. So we built what we call the Championship Series. So the Championship Series is a series of tournaments in every location across our network. So on the same weekends throughout the year, all the clubs close to open play and all their members are invited to come and join these tournaments. There's no charge for them to play. There's no additional cost in it. I believe we run really the best tournament possible, and we don't charge anybody any extra to do it. So if you're a member, you're able to play. We have divisions from the lowest level of 2.5 beginner all the way through 5.0 advanced plus advanced players. We run under 50 groups and over 50 groups. We run men's doubles, women's doubles, mixed doubles, and a four-person team championship throughout the year. And every event is a qualifier to then, if you win your division and your skill level, you're invited to come to the national championship. That's the only way you get into the national championship. So you can't just say, hey, I'm a member from Tucson and I want to go to the national championship and sign up. No, you have to have qualified locally to be able to do that. Every one of those is a qualifier and just builds up. And then the national championship is once a year. And it's obviously the culmination of that entire series. And it's just a great event from the standpoint of bringing our entire network together. People get to come to something that is unique and special, but they also get to meet people from other ACE clubs all over the country. So we had 17 clubs that participated in the national championship this year, and it's only going to grow. So part of my job is to figure out how do we take something that's already very large and had 950-ish people involved in play over this 6-day event that we just executed. And next year, it might be double that. That's my challenge to figure out. But I welcome it because it's just a great way for people to get together, have that competition and the camaraderie of all being members of the same club and organization, but never having met each other. So they get to talk about what's ACE like in your neck of the woods versus what I experience. And we hope that everybody finds that, you know what, it's pretty much the same wherever you go. So our focus really is on the members first. That's our primary thing. We do this not for our organization or for ourselves at all. It's really about doing something extra for the members. It's really about the experience. We're heavily focused on the experience of our members and players in this national championship. We really challenge ourselves to think about what do we want that experience to be for our members from the time that they land in Atlanta and come to the club for the national championship and walk through our doors to the time that they play and leave and everything in between. So we try to make it special for them. And we do all of this with I guess what I would call equality. So one of the things that you'll see sometimes at different tournaments is, oh, the top level players, they get the special treatment and there's a whole area for them and they get snacks and food and treated differently or whatever. But if you're not one of those, then you're not part of that. And ours is just all about equality. So whether you're a beginner player, any skill level, any age group, we want the experience to be just fantastic and equitable for everybody. And that goes all the way down to, we can talk about the prize money later, but every group gets paid out the same. People have asked us like, why don't you pay the higher levels more than you do the lower levels? No, everybody's the same. So they all get the same paycheck, which is thrilling for them to actually win a few dollars here at the national championship. We do have a $250,000 prize pool, but we do this and we think about all those things because we're trying to create value for our members and we're trying to give our members the potential to reach that and be able to participate in something that's seen as special and unique and fun. So it's also about community. I mentioned we've got people from 17 different clubs, and I've seen some situations where people coming from the same club have built community because they're all going to the national championship. And it's just fun to see them feeling like they're being a part of something bigger than even just the people they play with in their club, and certainly even bigger than their club when they come to something like this.
That's wonderful. And I'm sure ACE is reaping a bunch of benefits from this because community is so important and there's more competition in the industry than ever. And so if you can get people integrated into a community and where they're going with friends and they're competing and having fun, that's going to make a huge difference in how you're able to retain them.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly was a thought of ours as we were putting all this together. Because, yes, we want to create value, but we want to do things that are smart for the business too. And when we're thinking about those players that like a little bit more of a competitive outlet, then what can we do that's going to help us retain them, bring them into the club and retain them? We have some people that are members of the club just so they can play in these tournaments because you could almost equate the value of an annual membership if you were playing in all these things locally, that you would spend that money anyway on local tournaments and even definitely if you were going to any regional or national tournaments. And then they get those tournaments throughout the year, but they get every day to then be able to come into the club and do that. And we've seen that happen in different situations.
Any other intangible benefits that ACE has experienced as a result of this tournament?
I think it's been really good for us as an organization because it does keep us focused on some of the things I mentioned. I try to be very member experience focused. My job title is VP of Pickleball Experience. So my job is to think about their experience. And I think the fact that we do this and we're putting it out there and there's a certain level of expectation of what we're going to provide and what that experience is going to be, not only for the day-to-day member, but those that come to the national championship. And it helps us stay tuned up. I mean, our whole team is trying to think about that. And it's not just how do we do that at a national championship, but it also bleeds over into how do we do everything that we do every day for our members and trying to create a great experience for them. We certainly have seen memberships go up. We've seen retention based on this, but this is just one small piece of everything we do in that world to try to attract members and to build pickleball players. That's a big part of what we do. And one of the things I really like about the national championship and the championship series in general is that we're not catering to any certain player. We bring people into our starter series who have never played pickleball before. And our goal is to get them to a point where they're comfortable enough where they would love to play in the championship series event at the beginner level and be a part of that because they see the experience and they want to participate and we want them to. A big part of our business and our model is teaching people how to play pickleball and introducing them to the sport and then letting them thrive in an environment that they can drop in at any time, have a game, people to play with, build that community, and then take that forward.
Anything else about the tournament that you're really proud of that I didn't ask?
One of the other things that I would love to mention is it's not only the on the court part of the national championship and the play, but we throw a very nice player party for all the players. We invited all the referees. We did have referees on every court for every match, which is extremely unique for something like this. So that's a big investment that we made. And It was very much appreciated by the players, lots of comments about that. And I know we had north of 2,500 individual matches that went on over that 6 day period. The prize pool to me is very important, I think, but at the same time, I didn't hear anybody talking about the money when they were talking about the tournament. The people that were competing and playing, they want to stand on that podium and have that gold medal and be a national champion from inside of Ace Pickleball Club. I think maybe even more than they want the winner's check that they're going to get. And I'm sure they wanted the check and the money and so forth. But I actually didn't hear one comment all week about anything about the money. I'm here, want to win a check. I want to make money. I want to do this. And it was just people enjoying the experience and being part of it.
And then I also noticed that the championship was sponsored by DoorDash. And I was just curious the impact that having such a well-known partner involved has.
Well, DoorDash is a great partner of ours, and we have other partners that were a part of it, but DoorDash is the primary sponsor, and it's a great fit for our organization because if pickleball and pickleball complexes and so forth, some of them are more entertainment, restaurant oriented, or have those kinds of features, and we don't. We're what I would call a pure pickleball establishment. We sell a few packaged snacks and drinks and so forth, but that's what makes DoorDash so wonderful for us. Like I was seeing it all weekend. We had the signs up, QR codes. You could order from DoorDash, free delivery, and no extra charge to have that brought to the club. And that's part of why that works so well for us. I think DoorDash as a brand, just aside from being a great partner, they're just a credible brand that people recognize. And when they see a brand like that, wanting to connect themselves with something that we're doing, it gives a little bit of legitimacy to what we are doing. Maybe another angle to this from the experience standpoint that might be interesting to people that I would love to help people understand is that we're looking for partners that are going to enhance our members' experiences. So I keep coming back to that. But when you think about DoorDash and the way that works so well in our facility, it increases the members' experience. So it's just one of the ways I think we do things a little bit differently.
Anything else about the tournament that I didn't ask?
For me, maybe if I could highlight something would just be all of this, I think, stems from our leadership and what Jay and Joe want Ace Pickleball Club to be for their members. And this is just one of those things that we do and try to do well among many things that we're after to try to capture the pickleball player and have them want to be playing at Ace Pickleball Club.